Well, I don't know why I keep doing this to myself, but here's the new longest video on my channel. An hour and projectively 7 minutes. Hour and 8 minutes, I don't know. But we're talking about Prowler today. Not only talking about Prowler, we got basically a whole Prowler movie in this video. But yeah, okay, so I ranked up Prowler to just have fun mainly, because I was hoping for a 7-star of him for a long time, never got it. Decided to rank up the 6-star just so that I could have him on my roster, because I was really excited to play the guy. And I was absolutely amazed and in awe of how much fun I could have with this champion. There's going to be so many fights in this video of me just having a really good time with Prowler, because I've only had him maxed out for about 2 weeks now. So I got a lot of content in that time. And this guy is extremely powerful. I think he is, as the title says, like the savior of the tech class. This guy is genuinely one of the best attackers in the class. Maybe the best attacker in the class for general content, like content that's really relevant right now. And you're going to see a lot of that in this video, because I have a lot of BGs fights, like more BGs fights than I usually put into these videos. And then I also have some off-season Alliance War fights, because I only ranked them during wars that were in off-season. So I'm not going to have any of the new stuff, but there's still going to be some interesting fights in the war section. But we're going to talk a lot about his utility and his damage and all that fun stuff, but we can already just get started right here versus this Realm of Legends Storm. This was early on in my Prowler career, so let's see if I even do the correct rotation, because I don't even know, but I think I do this pretty... Okay, immediately I messed up, because I should start with a heavy attack. This is like one of the first fights I recorded with Prowler, so you want to start with a heavy attack to get the Incinerate on the opponent, because you can only place the Incinerate when they're at 0 power. I don't know... Okay, so I see what I'm doing there. I'm gonna go for... What am I doing? I'm just dropping an SP2. Okay, so it didn't even bother going for the Incinerates. This is why I shouldn't have recorded clips and placed them so early in my Prowler career. But whatever. Here's where I do a cool thing that I do sometimes, where I do the miss, and then I use the falter to get my opening in to place the Incinerate. And now I'm just waiting for my falter to come back, and now it's back, and this is definitely going to kill Storm. So I made it work in the end. I just didn't do the correct thing at the start. But that's how you're going to play Prowler. You want to get that Incinerate up, you want to get the falter up, drop SP2, and then they die. So instead of doing BGs fights immediately next, which is what I normally do, we're going to show my favorite fight of these videos, and that's against Grandmaster's Gauntlet Korg. I think this is the best showing of what Prowler can do, because I genuinely think it's a super impressive fight coming from this character. And it shows a couple things. Firstly, his evade control, because this has Mixmaster on it, and obviously the evade control is something that you're definitely going to want with Mixmaster. But it also shows his utility in his non-contact attacks, because of the fact that Korg would be doing damage back to you if those attacks were not non-contact. If you don't know, his mediums, his heavy attack, and his SP1 are all non-contact. So those allow you to bypass Thorn's damage. So his mediums cannot be evaded, and then if he throws an SP1, he's going to get a Pursuit passive. Pursuit also lets you never be evaded. Here I'm going for the heavy attack, place the Incinerate, and then I'm going to go for an SP1 here. All that's non-contact and stuff, and you can see this Korg is just getting destroyed. We don't have all of our damage going yet. I need to get to another SP2 first, and then it looks like I'm going to go for it here. Or not. Oh, yes, I am. I dropped the unblockable SP2. We get some nice crits on the attack, and then Korg is down to about 30% health now. So yeah. Another thing, he's pretty decent for Korg, because you don't need to place a lot of debuffs. You only need that Incinerate as far as your debuffs go. And you also have some freedom as to when you can place it, so that also helps. Here I'm just going to go combo in I'm going to push Korg to a special 1, and then I'm going to do the medium, and do a heavy attack, get rid of Flux Dispersal, and then I'm going to drop this SP2. It's unblockable, of course, and then Korg is going to die. So that is my favorite fight of all the Prowler fights, because I think that shows his utility the best. His non-contacts, his evade control, his overall damage cycle, and his lack of reliance on debuffs, and his way to get openings in with Flux Dispersal. So now we're going to start BG's fights. First one is going to be against this Mephisto here. We are going to place the Incinerate here, which is going to give Mephisto power gain, and he also has the power gain coming from the tactic as well. But here is where we're going to show off Prowler's power control, because in my opinion, this is the best power control champ we have ever received since Future Ant-Man, as far as the tech class goes, for sure. And Future Ant-Man's power control is absurd. So Prowler being even compared to that is really strong. So now we bait another special attack here. He throws it, we place another Incinerate, and just the power lock and power drain, they're so effective. If you don't know, it's really simple. The opponent just gets power drained and power locked whenever they throw specials. So whatever power they have when they throw it, they lose the rest of it, and then they're power locked for the special attack itself, and then 1.5 seconds afterwards, which is how you can double medium into a heavy attack, because the Incinerate only applies when your opponent has 0 power. So the extra duration on that power lock is what gives you those openings, which is really cool. So here, I would normally like to start a fight by baiting Killmonger's heavy attack and then heavy retaliating, so I could place the Incinerate immediately. Didn't get that, but it's okay. This is a rank 3 Sig 200 Killmonger, so the most powerful Killmonger you can have in the game. We're punching down quite a bit. Punching up quite a bit, I should say. And he's also at Sig 200, so the reverb damage is absurd with this guy. But Prowler is absurdly good at fighting Killmonger. Not only is he going to keep Killmonger's power very low for when he triggers reverb, if Killmonger does trigger reverb, he is going to have non-contact hits for, again, a lot of his hits to make it to where it doesn't matter, because you're not doing contact attacks for Killmonger to reflect. So we just place the Incinerate. Every time we place it, he's power locked as well, if we do it by countering a special attack, which you should do. So he's not going to gain any of his natural power gain. And yeah, this is just really solid fight. That's probably the best Killmonger, like rank 3 Sig 200 Killmonger fight I've ever had, outside of using maybe like Cosmic Ghost Rider or something. Next up, we're going to fight Onslaught. Prowler is metal, but I think Prowler is, with Future Ant-Man and being the best metal champions at fighting Onslaught. You're not always going to have a non-metal champion, and I think Prowler is going to be the best choice for that. Now, there are 2 ways you can go about this fight. You could place the Incinerate before the SP2, or you could opt to not place the Incinerate before the SP2. The benefit of placing the Incinerate is you're going to be doing extra burst damage when your Ruptures expire. The bad part is it's going to place Narrow Shocks on you every second, because that's just Onslaught's funny thing he does. So I could do either one. I opt to not place the Incinerate, because I think I'm going to have enough damage to begin with. But I think either way is valid, and I'm not going to tell you which one you should choose. I'll leave that up to you. But you can see the Ruptures do very good damage. We don't have any burst damage at the end of the attack because there's no Incinerate, because I opted to play it safer. But I think either one would work. So now we just want to kill Onslaught as fast as we can. Again, just the power lock and power drain is really helpful in this fight. And then Onslaught goes down. So that was just under a minute. At pretty healthy health totals, even coming from the perspective that we're playing a metal champ. So now we're gonna move on. Once this clip decides to switch, I don't know why I didn't trim some of that out, but I finally switched it, and now we're fighting Havok. Havok is pretty good for Prowler. The reason he's good is because whenever you power lock or power drain, I believe, Havok, he's going to lose all of his plasma charges. That does not include the debuffs, but it does include the passives on Havok, so if you just kind of push Havok to his SP2, and then just don't let him throw a bunch of SP1s, you're going to be able to manage Havok really well, and you won't even need that armor up. So you can see here, he drops it. He converted into a prowess, but he's still going to lose all of his plasma charges. So there, I went for an intercept. He didn't like it, which is annoying. But here, I'm going to beta special attack real quick. Then we're just going to medium into an SP2. I cannot throw a heavy attack because he's incinerate immune. That's fine. We kill Havok outright just like that. So we were punching down. That was not an ascended Havok, but it would have taken like maybe just one combo afterwards, and then he would have died. So I don't really think it matters too much. And now we're going to fight a rank 3 Mangog. So another one where we're definitely punching up quite a bit. And this is one of my favorite fights in this video too, actually, because he's not going to kill Mangog extremely fast, but he's going to do it very, very effectively. I'm going to go for a heavy attack right here, I believe. Mystic Dispersion doesn't matter, even though I think my opponent wasn't running Mystic Dispersion. In this meta specifically, that would be a problem, but in most metas, you don't even care if the Mystics have MD. And here is my favorite thing. You just completely miss Mangog's SP2 and still have the falter at the end to combo into my SP2. So love that, really, really cool. And then I saved a special attack just so I could remove Mangog's Unstoppable here. And then it does the Fate Seal and stuff. But again, my opponent was not running Mystic Dispersion, so that didn't matter for this meta, and it wouldn't. I mean, it would matter for this meta if a Mystic had Mystic Dispersion, but in other metas, it doesn't matter. He does have Energy Protection buff here, and I didn't recognize that immediately. So I can't place an Incinerate. That's okay. I'm still gonna just do this and then get a bunch of Ruptures up before I drop the SP2, and then hope that they finish the job. It does right there. So not the fastest fight, but we are punching up quite a bit, of course, and it was 81 seconds and very, very healthy. For Mangog fights, that's pretty healthy, I'd say. And next up, we're fighting Sasquatch, so continuing the trend with the big Mystics here. This fight I can start with a heavy attack, of course, because he's going to be at 0 power when I drop the heavy attack at the start of the fight, unlike Mangog, who has passive power gain on his own. Here I get Sasquatch to throw a special. He does reapply and incinerate. No crits to place Ruptures, which is a little annoying. That's fine. And then I do the special 1 counter, and then I'm going to go for a special 2 right here. Or not. I thought I would, but I'm going to do it here. So we have 3 Ruptures. Gonna go to 5, 7, 8. They detonate, and he loses not too much health. He's got a bunch of Res Wrath charges, so it's gonna be a little bit more annoying. But here, he's not unstoppable. It wouldn't matter if he was, because I had the Falter up. But that is definitely something to note about this fight, that most of the time your Sasquatch is going to be unstoppable, because most people have a duped Sasquatch. My opponent here just didn't. I don't know what I was doing there, but I just dropped this SP2, and then it does good damage. He's almost dead. Power Drain, go for a heavy attack, and then that almost finishes the job. I need a couple crits. The SP1 finishes it, so. Rank 3 Sasquatch. I don't think Prowler's the best Sasquatch counter by any means. I think at even ranks he does the fight very well. But I would not encourage you to fight a duped Sasquatch with a 6-star Prowler if the Sasquatch is rank 3. I don't think he's going to be that good at countering the healing, so yeah. It's a decent matchup, but not one that I'd recommend. This Nick Fury, though, this is another really, really good fight. So I'm going to push Nick to his SP2, he drops it, and then power gain's happening, but who cares, because Prowler has the power lock and all the fun things that Prowler does, so. Dropped the SP2 here with only 19 Furies, didn't really care, and it brings Nick down to 10%, so already on my way to get him to his second life, and we push him there. I like to go for a heavy attack like instantly when Nick enters second life, because he's always extremely passive right when he enters into it, so there's like no downside, except for Stand Your Ground, which luckily I did not get hit by. Here I'm dropping the Special 2 without the Incinerate and with minimal Furies. I didn't bother going for the Incinerate because it's really difficult to apply when Nick is in his second life, because Nick can't miss, and you can't really counter his special attacks with the heavy. At least not to my knowledge. But that was a really, really clean fight. 69 seconds with full health. I'm proud of how that one went. I think a lot of the next couple fights are going to be repeats. Actually, no, I think this Killmonger is a repeat, and then we have a couple new ones. This one did not go my way very easily, but you can see it's still going to be pretty decent. I think I messed up somewhere that's going to cause me to lose a good bit of health. But I do really, really like Prowler for Killmonger. He's better than like most of my mutants at countering Killmonger. I think the game lagged and I ate a special one. That's where I messed up in this fight. So I throw my SP1 there, which I shouldn't have done. This is early Prowler footage for me. That other Killmonger you saw was like very recent. This one was pretty early. So here I'm gonna go for I'm gonna counter his special 2. I mean, go for a heavy attack and then bait the special. Gonna go for a special 2 of my own. 4 ruptures, 6, 8, 9, almost 10. And then, yeah, did some good damage. The ruptures keep detonating when they expire because of the incinerate. Power lock is putting in a lot of work, getting to another SP2 real quick, and I should have just mediumed into the special 2. That would have finished the job, but we're gonna kill him right there. And like all of my health I lost was because I ate the SP2 off of the game lag. So it took a little longer. Again, I cleaned it up a lot more in the one you saw earlier because that was like the second attempt of that matchup. But anyway, next up we're gonna fight Korg. Energy resist stat focus on Korg makes sense. It's only annoying for Prowler's burst damage when the ruptures expire mainly. And then, again, you saw from Gauntlet Korg that Prowler is just a very, very good option for Korg, so there's another fight where I think I just lose some health. That's going to happen in a lot of these later fights. I just lose health somehow, but they all are really good matchups, unless I say they aren't, which I'm pretty sure most of them are going to be. Yeah, I just go for a normal intercept, and he's like, no, you don't get to do that. So, that was annoying, but it's whatever. Here, I'm going to Dex it. I should have just... Okay, I could have done that, or I could have just triggered the falter, or let the falter trigger on the missed hits of his SP1, and then that would have allowed me to just retaliate with a heavy attack. Don't really know why I opted to go that way, but that's fine. Drop the SP2 here. 3 ruptures. 5, 6, 7. And then he gets power drained. We do decent damage on the special attack, of course. And I just need to place another incinerate soon. Go for a falter. Looks like I'm not even going to bother with the incinerate, which, yeah, that makes sense. I can just go for the kill right there. And then that Korg is dead. So, it could have been faster, could have been cleaner. Not one of my best fights. But he's very good for the matchup. And that's the point of it being in this video. So, from Korg, we move on to Ebony Maw. Prowler's a very good counter for Maw in most metas. Not this one, though. Well, I mean, he is a good counter for Maw in this meta. The problem is that Maw is just a menace this meta, and whenever the Fate Seal hits the placebos that you get from the nodes, Maw is going to degen you. But obviously, Prowler doesn't gain any natural buffs, so there's ways around that in like any other meta where you're not getting buffs placed on you. It's just really annoying for this one where they are, and you're going to see, like, when I drop the SP2, I'm just going to eat a bunch of degen. That would not have happened had I been playing in a meta where I wasn't getting buffs put on myself. So, annoying, but it's whatever. Here, I'm going to counter the special 2, and if you don't know, Prowler is falter immune, so I don't need to worry too much about placing heavy attacks, because I don't need to knock him down to remove his focus. So that was a 34-second fight, and it should have been 94%. The only reason it wasn't 94% is because of that specific meta where I'm getting buffs on myself, and I have a Fate Seal triggering. So yeah, he's very, very, very good for that matchup in other metas. Next up, we're going to fight Korg. I believe this fight had recoils on. No, it didn't. Okay. Some of the BGs fights are going to have recoils on. I put them closer to the end of the BGs showcase part of the video, because obviously most people don't want to watch recoils versus their BGs opponents. At least I don't like it when I'm watching BGs gameplay. So I try to make that easier for you guys. Here I'm going to go for the not incinerates. I guess I didn't bother with it, and instead I'm just going to take rock field damage because I was being stupid. Really dumb. But yeah, okay, if you wanted to know what hits Prowler has that are contact, it's his lights, it's his SP2, and the first hit of his heavy. The other hits are all non-contact. Except for the first hit of the SP2. That's also non-contact. I think I might have said that. I don't know. Doesn't matter. This Korg is gonna die. Yeah, we did a bunch of rupture damage, and that was almost as clean as the first Korg. This one was just... It was faster, actually. It just wasn't as clean because I was stupid and dropped the SP2 when his rock was coming back. So, now we move on to Future Ant-Man. He's pretty decent for Future Ant-Man, except the Incinerate, you can't rely on it because Fant reduces the duration of that stuff. He does have very easy intercepts because you can do some really clean ricochet, and he has a really nice light reach as well. So that's good at fighting Fam. You always want someone who has some good intercepts at fighting Fam, when fighting Fam. And then this meta, Fam is probably harder because the Fate Seal getting his armor ups. It's really annoying, so... like here, the armor up got Fate Sealed, which is never going to happen in another meta, so it's another one where I think it makes Prowler worse in this matchup, and he would be doing it better otherwise. It's not a big deal. Here, I'm trying to remove some armors, and then I'm going to go for an SP2. Medium there, and then 3 ruptures into 5, 7, 9, and then that's gonna kill Fam. So that should be about full health and probably about the same speed in a regular meta. I'm not sure. Anyway, we're gonna fight Havok again. This time I'm gonna show you how to not do this fight, which is basically I just didn't have the strategy thought up properly before I did it in the earlier Havok you saw. In this one, I'm going to bait his special ones. And the reason that's dumb is because I thought that I'd be power draining him enough to where it's fine. Like, I don't need to worry about his plasma buildup too much. But you should still try to avoid it if you can help it. Maybe like 1 SP1, it's okay. Because you can see, like, he lost all of his plasma there. You can bait like 1 SP1 from Havok and then be fine, but don't bait multiple, because you can see what just happened to me. It's not a good time. So we're gonna finish the fight after 1 plasma detonate at 77% health, and I think that was slower than the last time too. So alright, next up we're fighting a rank 3 Attuma. I think Prowler is pretty good for Attuma if the matchup is more even ranked. This one isn't, so I don't think he's as good for this matchup. But at even ranks, I think he's very good for it. Again, non-contact attacks are huge for this fight, because that's just more hits that Attuma cannot do Thorns damage to you. You also remove so much of his hydration when you do a heavy attack. There, I lost a lot of health because he just light attacked me. It's annoying, but it's okay. There, I blocked the special. I dropped 2 hits of the special. That took a lot of block damage. Gonna go for the Falter right there, and then drop SP2. Place ruptures. They do burst damage at the end and stuff. So my health isn't looking very good. A lot of that's just because of getting hit. I think you finish this fight around 90 to 85% health most of the time. So I think this matchup is decent. I just didn't get a good clip of it. Maybe I can get a better one for the future. So that took 69 seconds. I'd say that time is pretty accurate when you're fighting a rank 3. When you're fighting a rank 2 or an ascended 6-star, probably 55 seconds is closer to what you'd normally see. And then your health, again, should be around 90 to 85%, I think. Just poor performance on my part. So, Next up, we're fighting Bishop, another mutant that we cannot actually incinerate because of the fact that he's going to do damage back to me. So that's annoying, but it's fine because Prowler's damage versus... Well, Prowler's damage is good in general. His damage versus mutants is extremely good. And then Bishop's going to throw an SP1 here, but we don't care because Prowler's Incinerate immune, so no downsides except for just a little bit of block damage. Do 8 ruptures there, and then he's almost dead. We could not... what am I trying to say? I don't know what I was trying to say. Anyway, he's dead. I don't remember what I was trying to say, man. Okay, it doesn't matter. We're fighting Killmonger again. Yeah, so there's time codes in this video for a reason. I put like every Prowler fight I had in this video. This Killmonger has recoils, which is why it's closer to the end of the showcase. Or end of the BGs portion of the video. But yeah, just go ahead and skip if you don't want to watch more of this. But if you do want to see more BGs content than anything else, then here's more fights for you. So, now, Killmonger's going to throw his special 2 there. I'm going to go for the heavy attack. Might have gotten a little lucky there, but this SP2 is going to lock in a bunch of ruptures and then probably kill him. No, it doesn't, but this combo will, question mark? Combo into Relic does. So, very fast because he had recoils on, but it's just another showing of him having really good utility for that fight. I didn't really, what am I trying to say? I'm so tired, man. I'm losing all of my thoughts. I just didn't want to exclude it from the video because I had a bunch of fights and I wanted to make this video quite long. Next up is Mangog. Started with a heavy attack because this is my first time doing this matchup, and I didn't even realize at the time that, yeah, he's going to have passive power gain, so that's not going to work. Here he throws an SP2 into my block. Annoying. But I think the fight goes pretty well from here on out. So, I'm going to bait his SP1 here real quick. Power drain him, get some power creep charges, and then go for a heavy attack, because we can do that after his special attack. We just can't do it otherwise. Cheeky light attack didn't work, but I was able to play it safe enough afterwards. And then we can do this fun thing. I love that fun thing. And then drop the SP2 just before the falter goes away. So we have the extra crit rate from Prowler's Sig. And just want to do that one more time. Except I'm going to have to go for the SP1 just to remove the Unstoppable. That's fine. It's not a big deal. We're going to go for another... I just let him miss me. I don't know why I did that. Maybe I'm just kind of rushing to SP2 at this point. And I'm going to go for a heavy attack. Didn't realize it wasn't going to work because of the energy thing. So I'm just going to... I probably could have mediumed into the SP2 there, but we're going to do it here. And then try to get a couple ruptures before I pause them all. And then Mangog dies, so... That was the first attempt of the fight. As you can see, I cleaned it up much better in the second attempt, which you saw earlier in the video. Here, actually, we do have a fight that's relevant. This is going to be Bullseye. I think Prowler's a pretty good Bullseye counter at even ranks. If he's not at even ranks, it's not good. I don't like this fight if he is not at even ranks. But it goes pretty decently. I don't think it's perfect. I think a lot of things have to go right, but he does have some good utilities for the fights. Obviously the pursuit passive, obviously your unavailable mediums. Those are very big things in this fight. You're also bleed immune, of course. I don't even know how I didn't mention that like first. You're bleed immune, so a lot of that is making this fight easier. The problem is the Incinerate is very unreliable because of Bullseye's signature ability, making him purified all the time. But that sucks, but it is what it is. We go for another pursuit passive, so no more evade still. We're still bleed immune. Like the matchup goes fine. It's not the fastest because of the lack of reliance on the Incinerates. And then I don't think the speed with recoils and non-recoils would have been that different because I could just combo into SP2 right there. 68 seconds, I think it can be faster. I genuinely think it can be faster even with the opponent not having recoils. But it didn't, so it's whatever. And the last step is the Korg with recoils. It was the last BGs fight, so a lot of BGs fights in this video, man. But yeah, the Korg had recoils, a little annoying. This was also not the Spite meta, so we had a little bit of interesting benefits coming from a good defense, which is always pretty cool. And then I'm going to bait his special 2 right here, and then I'm going to go for a couple intercepts, remove his rock stacks a bit, and then drop the SP2 with the Falter. 2 ruptures, turn into 4, into 5, into 7, and then Korg dies right there. So, really fast. Again, opponent had recoils, but full health because Prowler's just goated for Korg. Alright, here's another Korg. This time in Alliance War. We're fighting him on the Personal Space Fury node, the one with the node that also reduces ability accuracy when the opponent has buffs. This was early in my Prowler playing, but I think I did this pretty well. Something stupid's gonna happen if I remember. That might have been the stupid thing. No, that something else is stupid's gonna happen. I know I'll lose more health than this. This is node 17 on path 8. Yeah, that's the problem. I didn't have him pushing the corner enough. And then I just dropped the SP1 out of nowhere, because that was really smart. I don't know. Anyway, I'm gonna go for... What am I doing? I want to bait the special attack, and then I'm gonna go for a double medium into heavy, probably. And then I'm gonna go for the SP2 immediately. No, I'm not. I'm gonna dash in and throw it. That worked. And then we get crits on all the attacks, so extra ruptures, and then they do some really nice damage. I love how Prowler's damage flows, it's really cool. So, bait the special 2, gonna go for a heavy count, no I'm not, gonna go for a light attack counter, and then I'm gonna drop the SP2 here, because I know it's gonna be enough damage, even without the Incinerate, for sure, so. Back-to-back Korgs, but I promise you, we're gonna have some more interesting defenders coming up. Starting with this Storm Pyramid X on node 49. 49 is polka dot power. Prowler is pretty good at countering this node, just because the Incinerates you have relatively easy access to, and also the Incinerate itself is going to remove Stun Reflect, so any mutant on this node is going to die, basically. I don't think there's like a mutant that Prowler would be bad on this node for. There might be, I'm not sure. But we also can remove her funny Tempest things, because every time you power drain Storm X, she loses those, kind of like how Havok loses his Plasma when you power drain him. So, power drain, power lock, and then we go for another heavy attack. Just want to build the SP2. Polka dot power is going to make that take a little bit, because that's how it works. But we're going to get there pretty soon. She drops the SP1. I'm going to go for a 5-hit combo, or 4-hit combo into a special 2, and that's going to do plenty of enough damage to finish the job with a nice little burst of damage at the end of the attack because of the Incinerate. So, next up we're going to fight Sauron on node 39, and then Domino on node 40 in the same clip after it. Off-season war, I did use a potion there because I wanted to make sure I had these fights. Also, I just noticed how cool that Prowler looks next to the Sentinel Relic, because they're both a pretty purple, and it's very cool. Weird tangent aside, I like Prowler for this node. Again, his power control is awesome, because Power Snack, if you trigger it during the opponent's special, they're power locked, so who cares? And nothing matters when you can just power lock them like that. And then bait Sauron special 2. Triggered the Falter, which is annoying, but it's fine. I'm just gonna go for the special attack anyway. Don't have extra crit rating, but we can still place some nice ruptures. Don't have the Incinerate, but they still do decent damage. I'm gonna go for the Incinerate here, I think. And then I'm gonna be set up pretty well for another SP2. Got a nice sidestep there. and I'm going to bait Sauron's special with a light ending combo, power snack, triggers, I think, and then it doesn't matter. Go for an SP2 here, and then the ruptures. I didn't get any crits on that attack, actually. That sucks. But we're going to be able to finish it off in just a combo or two. Power snack doesn't matter there, and then he goes down. Can't crit Sauron, so he doesn't get any of his funny regen, I think. Or his regen is a lot weaker, at least. I think he can gain the funny regen, it's a lot weaker. And then now we're going to fight Domino in this node 40. Prowler is very, very, very good for Domino. I didn't have a Domino for the BGs fights, which I'm actually kind of annoyed by. I kind of wish I got one of those. But you can see it here, at least. In this fight, I can't even use my heavy attack because it's high energy diet, and you don't want to ever place damaging debuffs on high energy diet. That would be really bad. But we can still kill Domino with basic attacks and the special 2 without any incinerate. So gonna go for a special 1 here. Special 1 gives me pursuit, so that means her lucky just doesn't matter. As long as I don't get hit, then it doesn't matter, because she can crit me a lot more and stuff. Anyway, here we go. Bait her special 1. She hasn't gotten lucky yet, which is kind of weird. But again, pursuit would make it to where that doesn't matter if she did go lucky. Gonna go for the special 2 here. 4 ruptures turn into 6, 8, 9. Man, I wish I got 10 ruptures once. I don't think I've ever gotten 10 ruptures before. It would be really, really cool if I could. Anyway, I just let her hit into my falter. Here I'm gonna go for another SP1. Give me pursuit, and then I mess up, and then I almost die, but I don't. So that's the more important part, is not dying. Here I'm just gonna go for another SP2. 3 ruptures. 5, 7, 9. There we go. Domino is down in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Very nice fights, especially without any incinerate access. So, next war fight is against Storm X, this time on node 48. So this one has Prowess Puncture, Conflictor, all the funny things that are going to be countered by Prowler's Power Lock, because it's so awesome. Heavy attack there. It places the Incinerate, and then we just retaliate, and yeah, it's just going really, really well. So, can't counter her special attacks without the Falter active, obviously, because she pushes you so far away. But that's okay. I'm gonna go for 5, 7, 9 ruptures, and then she is below half health now. Gonna go for the Incinerate trigger probably by medium into heavy attack. Really love how that power lock lasts beyond the special, so that you can do things like that to make your Incinerate easier to place. So I opted to wait for my Falter to come back rather than using the Furies that I had. The larger Furies, at least, or more numerous Furies. Whatever, no damage taken, and then we move on to this Northstar on node 42. Prowler's great for this fight. This is not power reserve, but this is a node that functions like power reserve, to where if the opponent gains enough buffs, they're going to gain a passive that's going to let them be immune to nullify and stagger, and also give them cheaper special attacks. Prowler does not care if you have a power reserve functionality or not, because he's gonna power drain you anyway. So just like that, we go for a heavy attack, and Northstar just lost all of his power. Now here, in hindsight, I would use an SP3 rotation in this fight. You're gonna see more of the SP3 rotation later in the showcase, but the SP3 rotation will be better for this fight because Northstar gains that really, really potent physical vulnerability that it's really annoying because it just makes none of my ruptures really do damage. So I should have gone for an SP3 rotation to get more Furies and hopefully line it up better to where he wouldn't have that physical vulnerability, maybe, when I drop the special 2. Unfortunately, I didn't do that because this is like one of the first war fights I took with Prowler. But that's okay. I think he is still going to do some really nice damage. It's just heavily hindered by this Northstar being Sig 200 with that physical resist up. But you can see he's still handling the fight extremely effectively because of that awesome power drain. Heavy attack here. Might just drop the SP2. No, I didn't. I'm going to wait out until I can get the falter, which probably made more sense. And then I go for a rupture. Rupture, rupture, rupture. 6 of them detonate. He's down to 27%. And then we just keep going through with the cycle of heavy countering his special attacks and then dropping my special attacks while they're faltered. And this does not finish the job, I don't think. Oh, I didn't even go and throw it. Here, I'm going to throw it. And that's going to finish the job, I think. Yep. So, there we go, at 42 Northstar down. That's all the war fights I had. And now we're going to move on to some big bosses, which I'm really excited to show because I was actually checking to see how potent that physical vulnerability is. Dude, that physical resistance is absurdly strong. That's over 5,000 resistance up for it. Alright, now we're fighting Eternity of Pain Bishop. Really love Prowler for Bishop, obviously, the Incinerate immunity and the power control. Just super, super awesome for this guy. I think I'm going to go for an SP3 rotation, potentially, I don't remember, but either way, I just power drained a bunch from Bishop, and then, yeah, we're just rolling along. I'm going to get myself set up for success, and then I'm going to go for the SP3 here. The SP3 is going to push Bishop to his SP2, which is awesome. Going to go for more power drain, and then, yeah. He's got the massive power efficiency, which the reason that that's there is just so the power drain is more potent. And then you gain more power creep charges. And those charges scale with how much power you drain from the opponent. So bait his special here, he throws it, and then I don't have the falter actually, that's annoying. But do we get good crits? We get crits on 2 of the hits of the special, and that still does quite a bit of damage, so I think I'm just going to SP1 and be able to close SP1, SP2, and then be able to close the fight out or something like that. We are Incinerate immune, so it's triggering the node that lets him go stun immune whenever an immunity is triggered. That's whatever, who cares. We're not even going to try to stun anyway. I'm just going to go for the SP2. It might kill him, I don't remember. It looks like it does not, but doesn't matter because we make his SP2 miss, and then he dies from the rupture right there. So, with that being said, we move on to another Eternity of Pain fight, and that's against Havok. Again, cannot incinerate Havok, so just like Bishop, we're just going to have to go for the SP2 without it. Love that Prowler does not need his incinerate to do damage. Like, a lot of techs rely on their energy damaging debuff, which don't work against Bishop, don't work against Havok, usually don't work against Onslaught, or just never work against Onslaught, really. Prowler doesn't care, because, yeah, he's going to get extra damage if you can place that Incinerate, but he doesn't need it, because he still does decent damage without it, which is really, really awesome. So, I'm going to go for the SP2 here, SP3 I meant, and then it's going to push Havok to his special 2, and then he's going to gain the power efficiency, and he's going to be giving me a bunch of power creep charges, which is awesome. So, he's going to power drain himself just like that, lose all of his plasma charges, and now I'm just building up my own power to drop an SP1 and then eventually an SP2. After his Prowler's special 3, he's going to gain extra combat power rate. I believe it's 50% more or something, so that's cool. Havok goes to 2 bars there. Power drain him. Going to go for a medium. No, I'm not. 5-hit combo, actually. 2 ruptures. 3, 4, 5. Bad crit RNG. Whatever. And then I'm just going to keep hitting him a bunch. Go for another SP2 pretty soon. Let's see. Yeah, SP2 baited, punished, and then I'm going to go for another SP2 of my own. I don't think I go for another SP3, but maybe I do. Okay. That was annoying. Looks like I'm going for another SP3. I don't know. It's fine. That's not a bad choice. And then we're gonna just keep hitting him a bunch. Okay, SP3. Oh, I wanted to get an armor up from the node real quick. That's right, because I baited a bunch of Havok's SP1s, so I was kind of in danger there of getting plasma detonated. Just a wee bit close. But luckily it's fine. We just block a bunch of the special, which I probably didn't need to do that. And then I'm gonna do the regular, finish the SP3 cycle by going for an SP1 into an SP2. Relic first. And there we go, drop the SP1, and now I could have like instantly dropped the SP2. Opted not to. Or maybe I just couldn't and I thought I could. I don't know. There we go. He's dead. And it wasn't like the fastest thing ever, but it was really good because Prowler's just great for Havok. So now we move on to this Nightcrawler in the event quest, I think. Yep, event quest. Evade control. Prowler's very good at evade control. Another cool thing is that Nightcrawler is immune to ability accuracy reduction on his evade versus non-techs. So slow doesn't work with him. Work against him if you are playing against a duped Nightcrawler and you're not tech. Prowler doesn't care because Pursuit just flat out stops evade. It's not an ability accuracy tied thing. So I think I need to go for a heavy attack here because of the node. I'm gonna do that and then drop an. Oh, I'm just gonna ignore it. That also works. Who cares about damage when it's the last fight in the quest, right? So Nightcrawler completely annihilated there. I don't think he evaded once. I don't believe so, at least. Alright, oh, fun. Okay, we're doing Grandmaster's Gauntlet fights now. Really excited for these. These are some of my favorite fights in the video. Starting with Weapon X. Another defender I kind of wanted a BGs fight for, just didn't have the chance to get. So yeah, we're going to go for not a heavy attack at the start of the fight, because that would have been the smart thing to do. Instead, we're just going to push him to his SP1 and then do the things. Gonna get hit there because I'm bad, but Prowler's bleed immune, which is really, really helpful there, of course, because we would take a lot of damage otherwise. Go for the SP1 there. Kind of dumb. I don't know why I did that, but it's chill. Heavy attack places the Incinerate. Gonna keep retaliating with intercepts, and then gonna power drain real quick. And that's gonna give me more power creep charges. Am I going for an SP3? I'm just dropping SP2s. Okay. So, crit on every single hit because we got the additional rupture every time. Awesome. Heavy attack almost pushes him to rage, or berserk, I mean. Doesn't, but now he's in it, and I eat more hits. Man, okay, I was just getting beat up. I'm gonna try to bait a special attack. No, I'm not. I'm just gonna go for it with 15 Furies, and they crit on every hit again. I want to place an Incinerate again, and then we're really close to another SP2, so that's going to finish the job once we get there. There we go, 2 ruptures into 4, 6, 8. Weapon X dies. Really, really fun to fight, and just like that, we move on to Nightcrawler in the Gauntlet. And then we got to chain these next 3 fights all in a row are going to be taken by Prowler. I think I actually died at one of them, like really, really early on, and revive anyway. Should have started with a heavy attack. Gauntlet was actually one of like the first things I did with Prowler, so I, again, didn't know the rotation 100% perfectly. I don't know why I'm not going for a heavy attack, but whatever. I'm probably going to go for it when I'm countering his special attack, I assume. No, I'm not. Why am I not going for a heavy attack? Why am I not going for a heavy attack? Am I going for an SP3? I don't know what I'm doing. I recorded these so long ago, even though it's been like less than 2 weeks. Still not going for a heavy attack. Okay. This is interesting. Alright, I wanted a stun to combo out of my SP3 with. Didn't want to skip the animation because I thought it was really cool. And this is like one of my first times seeing it. That grappling hook, man. Wow. Anyway. When am I going to place the Incinerate? Baited the special attack right there. Could have finished my combo if I wanted to because I had the power efficiency. Whatever. And now I'm going for the SP1. That's going to give me my Pursuit back. He couldn't evade anything because my mediums can't be evaded. And now that I have Pursuit, nothing does. So heavy attack after the special 1 question mark? Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And then double medium into SP2. Beautiful. I knew what I was doing, kind of. It all made sense in the end. Nightcrawler dies, and then we move on to the next Gauntlet fight, which is going to be against Spider-Gwen. Another one that just focuses on his evade control. Yeah, evade control. So I think something goes wrong in this fight, because I'm going to die early on. We're going to see what happens. Okay, going to go for a little weird intercept there, but and I'm going to go for some evade failed hits. Oh, that happened. And then I couldn't recover fast enough or something. I don't know. It's fine. So we're going to revive Prowler real quick. And then the next attempt's going to go really, really cleanly. Oh, man. Okay. So much to talk over, man. My voice is killing me. I need water. I need water so soon. Oh. Oh. Well, that's a little embarrassing. Did she even take damage in that fight? I didn't pay attention to the end screen. Okay, well, it's fine, because we're gonna do really, really well on this attempt. I have crossbones on my team. I could have used crossbones, but I wanted Prowler content. So we're gonna get Prowler content, right? There we go. Now I'm kind of doing things right, because I got that light attack at the start of the fight that I was fishing for. Power drained her. And gonna go for mediums. I want to build up a little bit more power before I drop the special 1. Ooh, that was really close. It's fine though. It's chill. Gonna go combo in. We have the pursuit up, so just want to do a bunch of SP1s into SP2s, and then we're chilling. I'm gonna go for a not double medium there. Nope, I'm not gonna place the incinerate, I guess. That's fine. That's whatever, I guess. I don't know. Drop the special 2 with the falter up, so we got extra crit rates. 2 crits, it looked like. Medium, do some mediums, and then once the pursuit goes away, want to drop that special attack just like that. And then the taunt is up. She's going to drop her special 1 right there. I should be going for an incinerate. I don't know why I didn't do the medium into heavy attack thing. Maybe I didn't learn it yet. I wanted to refresh the pursuit so I could get myself a little bit closer to having optimal power to keep the pursuit up at 100% optimacy. Here, I'm going to bait the special. Go for double medium into heavy attack, please. Oh, why am I not using the heavy? Okay, maybe I just didn't know that I could do that when I was recording these fights, man. I thought I was smarter. That's fine. Gonna go for another pursuit right there, and once again, her evades are just gonna fail a bunch. Medium, heavy attack. Oh my gosh, I actually did it. Let's freaking go. Okay. Drop the SP2, and that's gonna finish the job for sure. Alright, next up, Grandmaster's Gauntlet Domino. This one was really, really fun, actually, because, again, he's very, very good for Domino. And then, this fight has Power Shield, which is really awesome, considering how much damage Prowler gets on his special 2. Because that's where most of his damage comes from, of course. Alright, gonna go into the fight. It does Limber and Matador, so I want to be aware of those nodes, of course. And then, I should have started the fight with a heavy attack, but why would I do that, right? That would be the smart thing to do. Gonna go for a nice ricochet intercept right there. She did not get lucky, which is awesome. Dex the special. When am I gonna go for a heavy? Am I gonna go for a heavy is a better question. Intercept right there. And double medium heavy attack. Double medium heavy attack. Unblockable SP2. Oh, I didn't need to dash in. I could have locked in some more ruptures, possibly. Doesn't matter. That was so much damage, man. She's lucky now. Can't evade my mediums. Can evade everything else, but not my mediums. Walked up to me. Luckily, my light attack clipped her before she could do her stupid AI intercept, whatever. That's my battery warning, not yours, by the way. And then I'm going to go for an SP2 here. Heavy attack. Drop it. Yes, it wasn't unblockable, actually. That could have been really bad. But it's okay, because it wasn't unblockable. Alright, there we go. She dies, and then we move on to the next gauntlet fight. Is it Apoc, I guess? I think it's Apoc. Yes, it's Apoc. Okay, 2 more gauntlet fights. Apoc's the first one. He's kind of just a big mutant, and also I'm a hero. Prowler is a hero, believe it or not, so he's gonna have the annoying thing where he's gonna start with his 4 charges. That just means that I don't want to block him much, because he's gonna be stun immune, and not only is he gonna be stun immune, he's also going to be able to stun me through my block, which is gonna be really cool. Don't want that. So, I am pretty good at dexing Apoc's specials, so while I could use the Falter to... Well, actually, would the Falter expire too fast? It might expire too fast. I'm going to go for a special 3, because I think that's just the best long-form damage cycle. And then I want to get the Incinerate up, like, right before I drop the SP2, because I don't want him going immune to it too early, of course. That would be very bad. So now... he's got the big power efficiency. I'm gonna go for a nice dex. I do know the Apoc special 2 and special 1 dex very well, of course, again. And just continuing to get myself set up for a big SP2. Falter's active. I'm gonna dex it anyway. Am I gonna medium into heavy attack? That's what I'm gonna do. And then we go for unblockable special attack. Which I don't need to dash in for. I'm losing out on some rupture damage by doing that. But there we go, we do drop the special 2, and then it does some nice burst at the end, and that does trigger the Incinerate immunity. So no more Incinerate the rest of the fight, but we got some nice damage out of it while it was there, and then I'm probably just going to drop SP2s from here on out, which are going to come very close to killing him. So nice rupture damage there, and 1 more SP2 is definitely going to finish the job, if not before that. Only 17 Furies, that's okay, and then, yeah, I don't know not much to say. We just gotta chip him down a little bit. Falter's active, gonna go for a combo into a special 2, and that's gonna finish the job, of course. Alright, 1 more gauntlet fight. That is against Killmonger. Polka Dot Power Killmonger. This is kind of like Node 49 on the war map. It has a node, Sharpened Claws, that's what the node is. Where they're going to bleed me through the block. Prowler's bleeding me, so he does not care about that. But either way, let's see. Yeah, we're just going to counter Killmonger special attacks with heavy attacks when we need be. Probably going for an SP3 cycle, I think. I'm not sure. So there we go, Dex, go for a heavy attack right there. Gonna go for a nice intercept, man. Oh, proud of that one. Nice light reach, of course, allows me to do stupid things like that. Again, I don't remember what cycle I go for. Is it gonna be the special 3? Appears like it is. Heavy attack does connect, and then I'm gonna... Oh, I think I wanted to go for an SP3 there. That's a mindset that I always have. Oh, 10 ruptures! That actually happened for once. There's a mindset I always had where it's like on Polka Dot Power, and I'm like, yeah, that medium's gonna get me to an SP3. I just like forget that it actually doesn't. But I might have intentionally been doing that. It looks like I'm intentionally doing that, actually. But that is definitely a mindset that I do sometimes, and it's really annoying. So anyway, heavy attack there, refresh the Incinerate, gonna go for a sidestep, and just continuing to repeat the rhythm. He does have reverb, it's a little annoying, but it doesn't matter too much, because most of our hits are non-contact anyway. Sidestep here into, oh, messed the sidestep up actually. Sidestep into double medium, special 2, and then we do some decent damage. We also trigger reverb, which is annoying. I'm not really timing reverb very well. Just wasn't on my mind too much, but it's not too big a deal. So, intercept here. What am I doing? Gonna go for a heavy attack here. He's power locked. So the reverb now does nothing because he was at 0 power when he activated it. And I could have gone for an SP2 there and finished the job. Instead, I'd go for an SP2 there and finish the job. So there we go. Oh man, already an hour into the video. I think I'm gonna stop talking actually. Because this is oh, never mind. This is a beta fight. This is just in the 9.2 beta. Not much to say about it. It's just a Nightcrawler that evades a lot. And then the next fight's Dazzler from the EQ, and then the last fight's Jabari from Winter of Woe that I already talked about in another video. So I'm actually gonna stop yapping because my voice doesn't want to do this anymore. But if you liked this video, do please support me by hitting the like and the sub button and the YouTube things I'm supposed to tell you to do, you know. Because, man, that put a lot of effort into this, so I would love to hear if you enjoyed it. And with that being said, I'm gonna leave while I'm getting beat up by this Nightcrawler, because I'm so done with any of this. But anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you in the next one.